Generating a lot of talk. A 12-year-old Avondale boy says he forgives the three kids who beat him up outside the North Avondale Rec Center yesterday, but he'd like his bike back. Not on Your Side's Jason Law is speaking with a little boy about those boys who jumped him out of nowhere.
After getting beat up and losing his bike to some neighborhood bullies, this 12-year-old is kinder than many adults would be.
I would forgive them if I saw them again. I hope they would be able to change after this. But I still want them to be caught. I just hope they can change.
He will be a 7th grader at Walnut Hills High School this fall. Thursday, he was playing basketball not far from his house at the North Avondale Recreation Center. After the game, he broke away from his friends and headed home.
The boy says he was walking his bike down Clinton Springs Avenue. He was just about to hop on his bike when he says an older boy popped out of the bushes, punched him in the stomach, and then threw him to the ground.
He just started choking me, and then these two other guys just grabbed my arms, held them behind me, and then the guy who in front, I didn't see the other two. The first guy just started punching me in the stomach over and over again.
Did they say anything to you?
No, they just started laughing when they left. That was all I remember.
How does that make you feel when that stuff happens in the neighborhood?
Bad. Make me feel real bad.
We talked with some ball players at the rec center.
When you hear that, though,
it's terrible. It's terrible.
Perry Daniels grew up in Avondale and says the neighborhood still has a problem with kids getting into trouble.
You got random violence around the urban neighborhood that, kids don't have nothing to do with their time, and they just, need some guidance, really.
What would you tell them if you could talk to them?
I'd say I forgive them. I kind of want my bike back, but yeah, I would be able to forgive them, I think.
Jason Law reporting there. That boy didn't get a really good description of his attackers for police, but there is some good news. The little boy's mother says there are some cameras outside that rec center that may have captured images of these bullies, so now police may have some video to help them find out exactly who did this. From death row to possible parolee, that's exactly what Cincinnati police officers hope to stop. Russell Bell and Wayne Reed killed Officer Charles Birdsall when he pulled them over after they'd robbed a convenience store in July of 1978. Bell faces a death sentence, but actually now it's a life sentence because the Supreme Court ruled Ohio's execution law unconstitutional. Captain Paul Newdigate says this is a bad idea.
If an individual will take on a uniformed officer, armed, training, what's he going to do to Joe Sixpack and that average citizen? Obviously, if he's willing to do harm to us, he's willing to do harm to the general public.
Well, both men have a hearing next week to decide if they should go before the parole board. Meanwhile, police say a Walton, Kentucky woman sexually molested 5 teenage boys. They say 4 of Teresa King's victims are under the age of 16. She is behind bars right now on $50,000 bond. And they have their man. Bellevue police say Brian Russell held up the Chase Bank in Bellevue Wednesday. Chopper 9 was the only local helicopter over the scene, bringing you that breaking news first. Police were tipped off that Russell was actually inside of his home. This morning, he's being charged with robbery. And the woman in black, a mysterious figure still causing ripples of curiosity on the web and back roads through small towns in the southeast and right here in the tri-state. She's walked hundreds of miles, mostly in silence. Police say she is Elizabeth Poles from Motts, Alabama. You may have seen her. People have spotted her recently walking on Highway 50 towards Chillicothe. Some have offered help and others trying to find out what she's doing. Her response is just complete silence. Hillsborough police say she hasn't done anything wrong and they plan to leave her alone. Well, a widow and her community, how volunteers are helping one local woman remember her late husband.
What's up with all the water and canned food?
I'm hearing a lot of complaints about canned goods that appear to be more water than food. I'm on your side to get to the bottom of this one.
Sean Matarese is on your side, so you don't waste your money. Monday at 6 on 9 on Your Side.